There's been a lot of controversy and conversation this last week or two about the role of apologies in a relationship. And I want to speak to that as a marriage family therapist who has been helping individuals and couples navigate this choppy water for the better part of the last 30 years. I actually wrote a book called Rational Relating that goes into detail about how apologies can be functional in a relationship and repair a lot of harm and a lot of damage over time. But one thing I want to make clear about that is that I'm sorry as an apology is a full sentence. I'm sorry, period. There's no if, there's no but, there's no if and buts. I'm sorry, period. Now, when one says they're sorry or offers an apology to another person or to another group, they're not apologizing for their identity. They're not apologizing for their political views. And they're not apologizing for having a mental disorder or a substance abuse struggle or a disability. They're apologizing because they hurt someone. And their intention is not to hurt people. That is where apologies are most effective, is when something went wrong or someone did something that they either meant to do or didn't mean to do. But the result of that, the net result, was harm and damage and trauma and the rise in cortisol levels. And when we are the perpetuators of that, we apologize if we intend to be in relationship with other people or groups. It's that simple, and I know it's that complicated. But what we tend to do in relationships is defend and say, no, you're wrong, you don't understand the context, you shouldn't feel this way, you shouldn't think this way. And in a trusting relationship, that is not necessarily functional or operative. In relationships, there can sometimes be a place where there's an apology. And then eventually there's a place where, can I tell you what I was thinking? Or can I tell you what I was going through? Or can I tell you what led up to the thing that I said or did that was harmful? And that can be the beginning of a really interesting discussion and often a lot of teachable moments. But that is with the receiver of the apology. That is with their consent. That is with their agreement. And that is when they're in a place. That is when they're regulated, that their central nervous system is regulated enough to be able to engage in that conversation. But when in doubt, the first thing you do, I'm sorry, period. What do you think?